TSAG Production.
Yes, indeed, 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 indeed. What a time it is. Hope you enjoyed that little Christmas segment there, huh? Indeed. From you here at this beach, you know what time it is. It is time for your artist spotlight. And of course, we journey all the way to St. Lucia for this one. And of course, a man who has been doing music for a bit, but he's here to share his story and to tell us exactly more about the man behind the music. I'm speaking of none other than Mr. Kevin Dorville. Mr. Kevin Dorville. He calls himself Jastar or J Star, depending on how you pronounce it, huh? Good evening to you,
Hi,
sir.
good evening, good evening, good evening.
How are you,
It's a
sir?
pleasure for having me on your show tonight.
Yes, indeed. Indeed, indeed. How are we, sir? How are we doing?
Well, I'm doing great, I'm doing good, I'm feeling all right.
Indeed. Did I actually pronounce your name correctly? Dorville?
Yes, you did. For the first time, you never butchered the name, you got it right, you know. Yeah,
Spelled D
big
O
up, big up
R
on that, yeah.
spelled Dorville, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's correct. Indeed, indeed. Um I was having a conversation with you sometime and like I said you're from St. Lucia. Um take us to early your earlier days. How did you grow up? Where exactly in St. Lucia? Schooling, stuff like that.
Okay, it's a pleasure. Yeah. Well, I grew up in the north part of St. Lucia, you know, in the north district of Brasilet, the place called Marysville, yeah, Forest. That's in the district of Brasilet. I started doing music from secondary school level. That's 20, 2010. That's the year I left school. So I started doing music from 2007 to 2008. And I continue doing it after I left secondary school level. Until yeah, music is always something I always love. I love listening to music around my grandfather. Be there's something called country and western.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, yeah, he always used to be going out country and western, and there was a dance that's next to my home, and you know, I always used to be listening to the music, listening. But he's always part of a band, so you know, listening to him and watching him, always in the music, it me, you know, and that's what that led me into becoming a musician and um, writing and recording. Yeah. I don't have a specific genre. I sing. I do music according to the time and according to the you know the season. For example, I will give Christmas songs. I will do songs for Independent. I, I will do songs for Mother's Day, for Father's Day. You know, give it any occasion. I will try my best to put my part in as a musician. That's what I do. Yeah,
You
yeah.
you actually Um, went to school with coincidentally my. You actually went to school with my supervisor, um, Mr.
Yeah,
Jazzy Daniel Smith.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Indeed. Good evening
E-
to you, sir.
Good evening, good evening, good evening.
Yes, sir. I'm sure he's listening somewhere. Good evening to you, Mr. Smith. Good evening to you. Um, was this your thing? Because of course, I've interviewed other musicians, um, you know songwriters, etc. But I have never ever heard. Good evening to you, sir. I told you he's listening. um,
Eh,
I've interviewed you know persons around the world, um, and I've always asked this question: do you have any kind of disability? Of course, we cater for everyone.
yeah, no, I don't have any disability. Yeah, thankful of that. But I'm also, you know, um, my music also go out to not just, you know, people who have disability, but for all two people who has disabilities also, so I try to cater for, not just for people without disabilities, but for everyone else.
Indeed. Um, why music though? You could be, of course, you have, like you said, you have no disability. You can walk, you can see, you can do whatever that a regular person would do. Why not a lawyer, a doctor, a teacher? Why music?
All right, that's a good question. That's a good question. To be honest, music, music has saved my life in so many ways. For example, when I go through certain trials in life, when I go through certain ups and downs, mainly music is what I listen to express myself and to understand when you go through certain things in life. Sometimes some people get their happiness in different ways to express how they would feel in life. I found happiness in music. I express myself with music. For example, there's the thing called artists. There's musical artists and there's artists that do drawing or painting. You know, it's the same name but different field. But for example, that's where someone will find to express their love. I may find it in singing, and another artist will find it in drawing.
True,
So
true.
at the end of the day, it don't really matter what you do, but how you express yourself at what you do. You know, express it to the best of your abilities, and when you put out something that the world, the universe can, see where you're coming from, and they can at least learn something from you and pick up something. So back to the question why I choose music, I believe that music is a way that I can, influence others, I can help others by my message, Yeah. So that's why I choose music.
All right, just before we continue, uh, we are gonna take a listen to one of your tracks here. I, 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 I'm not sure the name of the track because of how it was sent to me, but you can tell me. You can enlighten my darkness as it regards to this track. Let's go.
Yeah, so once I hear it, I will let you know the name.
Okay, let's go. Of course, we still have the man Of course, he officially his birth name is Mr. Dorville, indeed, Mr. Kevin Dorville, but he calls himself J Star or Jastar, depending on how you look at it. Let's take a listen to Mr. J Star or Jastar, depending on how, how you look at it. Indeed. Let's go.
Call security! Yo, RP! What is Christmas Day without me? Link up with friends and family. Look at it. Tell Marianne, I come in for my fruitcake and rum. Tell Marianne.
Tune big like that, you know what we say? Fun down here now,
Yo, RP! What is Christmas Day without me? Link up with friends and family. Look at it. Tell Marianne, I come in for my fruitcake and rum. Tell Marianne, I come in for my fruitcake and rum. Oh yeah, I waiting. Me a chol manuel la wive. Kai pou kai na pase. Bon maman koumase. Den mwen ale bon masi. An mep te ki po show aussi. La mwen jwen e pi bon ti. Mwen pre de chante pi sorti. Non la wive. Oh nana. Non la wive. Den mwen moute ay bon maki. I di mwen saka di music a pete ko anji. Tell Marianne, I come in for my fruitcake and rum. Tell Marianne, I come in for my fruitcake and rum. Tell Marianne, I come in for my fruitcake and rum. Kohan, no.
I wanna ramp with. Careful, you know.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, man. That one was the name Fruitcake and Rum.
I was correct in labeling then.
Yeah, Fruitcake and Rum.
Why fruitcake and rum?
you know, fruitcake is something I always love on the Christmas season, you know. Like I grew up seeing my mom making fruitcake for me. I also see my auntie every Christmas season. My auntie normally, she give my grandmom a fruitcake. She normally do fruitcake every Christmas season. And like unfortunately there was a Christmas season I was at work, and I wasn't there the same time when she was giving fruitcake, so I was a bit upset, and I was like, next Christmas season, that cannot pass me. I cannot pass a Christmas season without my fruitcake. So
You
that
going
was
for
the
your
thing.
fruitcake and rum
Yeah,
this time around.
yeah, that was the thing. Yeah, this year wrong, my fruitcake and my yeah. Basically, the truth for sure. It's just the truth. Yeah, that's what inspired me.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Fruitcake and rum, indeed.
I really love fruitcake. I love the fruitcake for sure. I love the fruitcake.
What about the rum?
That's one of my main thing for the kind Christmas season. Fruitcake. People will go for all other stuff, but I love my black cake. Some people call it fruitcake. Some say black cake.
What about
I
the
love it.
what about the rum?
On a Christmas season, how it is. Normally you pass to house to. I grew up the old traditional way. For the Christmas season, you pass by mom. After by mom, you go by auntie. You go by uncle. You pass by cousin.
Yes.
Normally, that's how it is. There's always stuff to offer. There's sorrel. Who wants sorrel? But for sure I don't want sorrel. You know what I want.
Fruitcake and rum.
You know what I want. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
That is it.
Just Star, J Star, depending on how you look at it. What's the actual name?
Well, I will say J Star, Some people will say J Star, J Star, but it's according to your pronunciation and where you're from and how you pronounce it. But I'm open to, answering, different ways, where once I know it's me that you're referring to, I'm always, it's not always the name, but it's the person behind the name, it's
Indeed,
your character within,
indeed.
So
And it's spelled
most
J.
times the name, yeah.
It's spelled
hmm
it's spelled J A without the H.
Without no H here, Gastar, like Just Star, Just Star.
Where did you get the name?
The name came up. It came up from a very young age. I grew up listening to, like I told you, my granddad. I saw him into the music, and the name. It wasn't the first choice. It wasn't the first name. Basically, it's like my second or fourth name. Trying to get the right name, the right, ingredient to deliver the right, But the name came in from me listening to reggae music as well. Like I told you, I've been listening to different genre of music. At the moment, we're coming up with the name. I was deeply listening to reggae music, dancehall. I was influenced by Jamaica, of course, listening to dancehall. And, the name came up about, yeah.
I asked you a question earlier today because of the name Ja. Are you a Rastafarian?
No, sir. No, no. I'm not Rastafarian. No.
Because the reason I ask, and I asked you again, is because of the fact that a lot of times persons with the name Ja or
Yeah,
has
I've been
some
getting those questions, A lot of
association
people, yeah, yeah,
with Rastafarian because of that kind of pronunciation. So
yeah.
I'm sure a lot of listeners may be asking, is he Rastafarian? Why the name? And you heard
To,
it.
to be honest, I watch it deeper than that, I do not watch it like, Rastafarian or, I just watch it as a name, I love the name. I felt in love with the name and, yeah, I say like, yeah, I believe that, every single one of us within ourselves, we are a star. Yeah?
Indeed.
So everyone should believe that they're a star. I'm not the only star. We all deep in within us. The more God made us all a star. You understand?
True.
So the gem and the star, you know, that's what how I came up with it. I believe that I'm a star, yeah, and I just add the GE with the star, just star.
Indeed. Of course, listeners, if you have any questions for the man himself, you can always feel free to send in your messages. Of course, for those who have my private contact, you can always send in your messages there. And for those who are in the Zollyhood radio groups, of course, you can send in your messages there as well. For the man Jastar or J Star, depending on how you look at it.
That's it.
Um, what was it like? Because of course you mentioned, you've gotten influences from listening to reggae music, dance hall music. Who were some of the persons you got influence from, uh, you know, as a child growing up?
As a child growing up, like I've said, I've listened to different genres of music. I grew up in a times where in motivational reggae music was what that was, running in my times in the 90s. that I grew up listening to Bob Marley. You know, I used to be listening. Hey, my grandfather listened to Lucky Dube. Lucky Dube, yeah, that's Bob Marley. That's those artists that I used to. Cause it was like every Sunday they used to have a certain segment on the radio station, and my grandfather always used to have his radio, and I always used to be listening to him playing those music. So it came like a normal household thing, a feeling for me to hear him playing it every day. So it grew up in me listening and understanding the genre. At the time, I didn't really know what genre it was, but growing up, I understand that that is dancehall, that is reggae, that is conscious, that is country, that is so on and so on.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why yeah.
Um, Jazzy, I do not understand your message, sir. Could you resend it? Thank you. Please resend your message, sir. And of course, we will get that through to the man himself. Of course, like I said, if you want to send a message, of course, if you want to ask a question or send a shout out to the man himself, feel free to send in your messages. Indeed. Um. So you grew up listening to Bob Marley, Lucky Dube, the Peter Tosh, those persons, and I guess you said to yourself, I would like to be at least not like these people, but you know, possibly, performing on
Yeah, as an
stages,
artist.
on stages they themselves performed, and all that kind of stuff. How would you say that music is influential now versus let's say 10, 20 years ago?
Music influence, the influence that I would have on music before and now. I would say a lot of things have changed in the music. A lot of things have changed, because we live in a time that people will glorify when you sing more. How will I say it? Music pertaining more on the nude side, on the dirty side. You understand? So people will go for the bad music before they will go for the inspirational and motivational music. Yeah, that's how I view it. I still see myself, as someone to produce good music and motivational music, like I said. Uh, yeah, so regardless how it have changed, I still try to adopt adopt with the times because every there's a generation every time. Things don't stay the same. So I try to you know move on with the times and try to maybe change a little stuff, maybe a little one two stuff, so that my message can reach better to the younger generation, not just to the older but to the younger generation especially because they're the ones that coming up and they're the ones that need the guidance. So I try to yeah keep doing what I doing and like I said, if I have to tweak and take one to stuff to improve on it, I will.
Are you doing music full time?
Unfortunately, no. Um, I am. I'm also a 8 to 5 worker. I'm also a chef. Yeah, I work at a important hotel in Saint Lucia. I work as a chef, and music is always my number one goal. But unfortunately, with the resources and the influence that I'm getting back in Saint Lucia, I can't pursue it the way that I want to. But I always keep doing my music and hoping that one day I will reach the true heights that I deserve to be.
What? Of course, music in St. Lucia compared to, let's say, a Barbados, for example, or a Guyana, possibly, on the European continent, the Asian continent. Do you see yourself there maybe next 5, 10 years based on how the music industry is in St. Lucia?
Where do I see myself the next 5 years? To be honest, with the way the music industry is running in St. Lucia, I'm not guarantee that where I want to see myself, I will definitely see myself there. There is 1, 2 things that need to be put in place first to make the music industry a little more, better for us, we St. Lucians, to further our musical skills so that we can not just sing regionally, but to surpass and for our music to reach internationally as well. So I believe that there's 1, 2 things that um, not just the minister, but whoever who's involved in the entertainment industry in St. Lucia need to organize more opportunities for we fellow upcoming artists in St. Lucia so that we can, showcase our musical skills more often on a local stage so that, we can reach, like I've said, not just locally or regionally, but internationally. Because you never know who's been looking, who's been watching, and it only take one day, one moment, one video, one clip for your music to go viral or for you to reach where you want to reach. Yeah.
Well, like I tell every person I interview in here that my aim is to make sure that everybody gets a plain, everybody gets a level playing field as it regards to how we do things around here. So you have nothing to worry about as it regards to that. Um, the track I just played, is there a music video out? Or do you plan to do a music video pretty soon for this track if there's not one?
No, there is not one as yet, but that's that's the next main thing I'm looking to step up in my musical career, in my musical journey, to release more visuals so that the world can see me more and can know who's the face behind the name, because many times people hear the name, but they do not see the face, and that's something that I've been working on, and I've been looking to improve on that. So going forward, hopefully, 2025, you will see some more visuals with me and my music. That's one step forward.
As a St. Lucian, how proud are you as it regards to Julian Alfred?
Julian Alfred, I'm extremely proud. I'm extremely proud. Yeah, man. She's one who make the world recognize us, you know. She laid a footprint for we all fellow solution to follow. And, you know, it was just something that, you know, from within that, you know, she can teach each and every one of us that, you know, the limit is the sky. Never doubt yourself. Wherever you want to reach, you can. Yeah, so I'm very extremely proud of her. What she did is just, you know, extremely well. And I'm looking up to her as a motivational person, someone that can lead us. So, yeah, big up to her as well again.
Um, I think Jazzy is asking about See No Evil Monkey, if you understand what he means.
Pardon?
He's asking about, he says, just to cause trouble, take us throughout the music battle between See No Evil Monkey. I'm not sure exactly what that means, Mr. Smith. Please send me a voice note, sir. Thank you. Because I don't understand. So, you, of course, everybody is, including me, I'm not a St. Lucian, of course. I'm a proud Jamaican. But I can tell you this. I am proud of the fact that Julian Alfred made a mark for y'all. I can tell you that. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where you can never ever, you can never forget because of the fact that you know you know
but if you can take us through the music battles that we normally had between the various forms, the classic
Oh, okay. Now I understand exactly what you mean. All right, so he's basically saying not to cause any trouble, but of course there are times when you guys had class battles. Um, how was that for you?
Jazzy. Yeah, we used to have our battles for you. Jazzy bring me back to memory lane. Yeah, he told you he used to be part of our musical team, right? He told you that, right?
Unfortunately, not.
Oh well, I'll bring you back memory lane. He was part of our entertainment team, you know.
Okay.
Um, we used to have our rap battles. We also used to have you know when they have the mathematics month. So you know they used to allow us to do whatever on mathematics. So normally we used to do those mathematics songs. You know our jingles. Everybody would come up with a jingle, and
Okay.
we would see who came up with the wickedest, or I would say the baddest jingle. You know, and Jazzy always was the one. You know, he always used to take the crowd. You know, he
Daniel
had a
Smith,
special dance.
indeed.
He had a
Really?
special dance. He had a special dance was given. Ask him for me. Ask him if he still remember the dance. Ask him for me.
Well, he's listening, sir. He's listening to you.
Ask, Jazzy, you remember the dance? You remember the dance? That used to mash up the school every time you took the stage.
Indeed. You know what?
Yeah,
You
that's
know
a
what?
very memorable moments,
I'm going to do something that you will never ever expect me to do.
You will put him on the line.
I will do something that you will never expect me to do.
You will put
So,
him on the line.
what I will do right this minute is this.
Famous Productions.
Yo, famous Christmas, you see this Christmas. How long we are discuss? Now the time I reach us. People for Jesus. Hey, hey. Merry, merry, merry Christmas. Merry, merry, merry Christmas. Hey, hey. Merry, merry, merry Christmas. Merry, merry, merry Christmas. Oh yeah, me liquor them piling. If you think I joke, no smiling. How long me waiting for Christmas morning? Mr. Famous and me calling, so he sent the rhythm for me. Tell me make sure not to make it boring. Boy, Christmas how we pay. Jeunesse bon moun ta célébrer. Combien pour aller gozile? Aïe pas changer, ça c'est je me refais Jésus. Il c'est riche pour Dieu, ça pas chou pour nous faire mauvais, ça c'est chou pour ouais et puis fin manger. You don't have to have no money when it's Christmas time. Forget about it.
Famous Productions.
Yo, famous Christmas, you see this Christmas. How long we are discuss? Now the time I reach us. People for Jesus. Hey, hey. Merry, merry, merry Christmas. Merry, merry, merry Christmas.
Listeners, I just made history just now. Live on Zollywood Radio. We have the man himself, Jazzy Daniel Smith, right in Zollywood Studios. Good evening to you, sir.
My Jazzy.
Hey, good evening to you, my brother.
How you doing? How you doing?
I do it back. I could have dropped the incense scoop, but I feel like somebody dropped that for me.
Yeah, man. It's a pleasure again for having me on the show again, Yeah, like I was telling the fellow DJ, I was telling the fellow brother about our memorable moments,
Mm-hmm.
about the dance.
I heard you have
still
a,
have to dance. You
I
still
heard
have
you
to
have a,
dance a lot, yeah?
I heard you have a specific dance, Mr. Smith. You didn't tell me about that, huh?
Yes, I'm a dancer of my parents. Part of the entertainment spotlight in my class.
I see.
So me and the other musicians, we had just well, but back in class it was known as Pluto. Then we had Tupai, we had Warren.
There's a whole team. There's a whole team.
Well, the thing is, when he sent me your contacts last night, I called him and I said, "What the hell?" He said, "That's the name you went by at school, Turtle."
Yeah, Turtle.
Where did you get the name from?
Ask Jazzy. I'm not sure. It was.
I don't show either, my friend. I don't show either.
You see, my classmates, we had the weirdest names. If I had to go through our names for you, you would hold your head. Let me give you the names we had in secondary school. I was called Turtle, right?
Uh-huh.
There was a next guy named Mosquito.
Okay.
There was a next guy named Clifford.
What? Cliff, the big red dog?
Yeah. There was a next guy named Robocop. Robocop as in the robot.
Oh, Lord.
There was a next guy named Skip, as in Apple and Skip, like Skip, S-K-I-P.
My gosh.
The other next one named Catman. Like Catman, there's Catwoman and Catman.
I guess Jazzy was the only man without a name then.
Jazzy had a name, you know. I just what name? Jazzy had his name as well.
I don't. I may have had one, but it never stuck. I don't know how, but I kind of yeah. It just went. I went by to the school term, and nobody really christened me.
Yeah. But to be honest, we all had weird names, huh? Our name was just, out of the blue.
And not forgetting two buys.
Yeah, and you know what make it worse, you leave school and sometimes you will have classmates calling you Turtle, Turtle, Turtle. Sometimes you in the town, you're in Castries, you're doing some shopping, a friend calling you Turtle. So I'm there like, wow man, you see the school names never get old, Once I hear someone call me that, I already know that's a classmate of mine from way back. Yeah. So I had to change up the name again because I was like, imagine I'm singing and I'm on stage and we calling Turtle on stage. I was like, what? Nah man, that's need to change again. So I changed the name about 3 times already. I was Turtle, then I was that, then I that. So it's always a working process, yeah, to get the right recipe to yeah. Yeah. Those were the days, I can't never forget.
And coincidentally, my friend, I don't think we never called each other by our real names for those who had nicknames. I think everybody was taking nicknames.
Yeah,
even the teachers were confused at some point in time.
Yeah.
We had that at school because, of course, the only time teachers uses or actual names is when register is being marked or they're addressing us outside of that. Then the rest of the kids would call you whatever names you had and stuff. I don't expect you to ask any questions, Mr. Smith, because you know this man like the back of your hands. But of course, like I said, if you want to ask any questions, my listeners, you can send in your messages. For those who are in the WhatsApp group, the Zollyhood WhatsApp groups, you can send in your your questions and your big ups or whatever else you need in there. And for those who have my private contact, then you can send your messages there as well.
I think one of our listeners is surprised, my friend. He's holding his head and be like, oh dear Lord, my.
Who could that be? Mr. Dollar Bill?
No, Mr. DJ Lex.
Oh, yes. Locked in and loaded, indeed. If of course you said you're doing a 9 to 5 job, you have an actual job outside of music. Let me ask you this. If you should step in Parliament one of these days in terms of changing your career to be a politician, which department would it be and what would you change?
Which department and what would I change?
Yes, sir.
Okay. First of all, I would go in the department of youth, sports and entertainment. I'm not sure under which department that would fall. I would go for that because of, the influence that the youth have on, the future and, the youth are the future. So I would go for the youth development and, just try my best to put in more things that, would suit their ambition and what they desire, because most of the times, many of the youths have talent, but there is no really foundation put in place for them to, showcase their talent or to express themselves on a bigger field, a larger audience. So yeah, basically, yeah, that's if I had to be in parliament, that's where I would go, work with the youth, work with the youth.
Indeed. Do you play sport? Do you watch sport?
Sports. Sports. I believe that that question was asked like, you knew I'm a sports guy, I love sports, especially soccer, football. Yeah, I'm a big fan of soccer. Yeah, it's a way of, relaxation for me. It's a way of calming down myself. I I used to play soccer before. I was part of a football team, but unfortunately, my when I started working as a chef, the time for me to balance with playing soccer and work became shortened, so I couldn't play soccer the way I want to on a regular basis. But I still watch soccer, I follow soccer, and I also support it. So, yeah, man.
Who's your
That,
favorite?
I'm a big,
Who's your favorite team?
well, from your head of voice, you
Wh-
know already.
What's
But
your favorite
enjoy
team?
it.
Say again. St. Lucia,
What's
huh?
your head of
Say again.
uh,
Uh,
the
think.
best team in North? So
Say,
I would let the audience guess that.
okay.
Which team is the best team in London?
Which team is the best team in England? You say? Is that the question?
No, not England. In North London. North
No.
London.
Oh Lord Jesus, my gosh. North
Yeah.
London. That has to be either um. Okay. You know what? Let's continue.
Let me just step in there. When I called you, I was actually chilling at his home and he was actually watching football. I wanted to if you were able to pick up the football in the background.
You mean yesterday?
No, not yesterday, on Sunday when I
Okay.
called you.
I was not even paying attention. I'm sure his team was playing.
Well, if you was paying attention, you would have a clue. You'd have a hint.
That's why I didn't pay attention because it's not Manchester United.
Ah! Ah! Wait. I feel sorry for you. I feel your pain, man. I feel you really have guts, You really have guts, man.
I am a proud Manchester United fan
Yeah, man.
forever, sir.
Why you gotta hurt yourself so, man?
I am a proud Manchester United fan. Win, lose, or draw. I care zero about anybody else right now.
How you feel? How you feel in the bottom half? How do you feel in the bottom half?
We will bounce back. That's all I will say. Next question.
I've been hearing that for a couple of years, It's been over 5-6 years I've been hearing that.
Next question. Next question. I guess I guess we do have a die-hearted sports fan, Jazz, who needs to be aired on Down the Middle one of these days.
Yeah, what of those days? What of those days?
No, I'm die-hearted Arsenal fan.
I
would
could
never
I,
take
I that's why I did not continue my journey as it regards to when you said the North London Derby. I did not continue my journey. I went somewhere
Yeah,
else.
bro. Right now, we're the best team in North London right now. It's not debatable. It's not debatable. It's fact.
I will continue asking you. I will continue by asking you this question. I will continue by asking you this specific question, sir. Um, I'm sure you have brothers, sisters. How do they feel in terms of you doing music as one of your careers?
My relatives and close ones, especially my siblings and my mom, they are supportive. They are supportive of what I do, and they stick by my side. And when they have to step up with me, they're there with me. For example, when I get maybe performances or maybe radio interviews, I will discuss with them, and that they will give me advices and brief me as to what I can and what I can't say, what I'm not supposed to do. So uh, my my mom and my siblings and some close relatives, not everyone will always support, what you do. You will also get, people that won't support me as well. But I also look at that as, motivation for me to keep doing it because yeah, in everything you do, you get good and bad. So that's just part of life. Yeah.
Indeed. Before you go, any shout outs, anybody you want to say hi to?
Well, first of all, I would just like to big you up. First of all, for taking the time and for having me on the show on your station. I would like to big up my partner, my best friend, my close friend from school from long time. We've been happy because we left school and he's still there. Irie, big him up again for introducing me to your hotline to the station. I appreciate it. I embrace the moment. I'm not sure if I have any listeners that on your side that was listening and took the time out. I would like to speak to them, him or her, Mrs. or Mister, wherever you are. Thanks for taking the time to listen to me. I would like to live by giving my social media name. If anyone is interested and would like to have a look on my social pages, where to find me. It's Jastar, Jester 758. Our area code, St. area code 758. You can get me on any of the social media platform, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. If you would like to, with the same name, Jester 758. Yeah, Gester 758.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, basically that's that's yeah.
Indeed. Indeed. We
Mhm.
thank you.
Yeah, yes, there were people of your same visual experts in the building. I think he sent you a message, my brother. You can have a look at it.
He says. Okay then. Okay. Okay. Okay then. um, we thank you so much, J Star, for passing through the studios of Zollywood Radio, and of course the door is wide open whenever you need. Feel free to walk in at any given time. You know what I mean? And of course, like I said to you, we make the magic happen according to the tagline of Zollywood Radio, where the magic happens, and of course, we make your magic happen and your time to shine and everything as it regards to you. So feel free whenever you drop your tracks, you can always send them to Jazzy. Of course, once you send them to him, it will reach to me at some point in time. No worries. Of course, indeed. We thank you much. We thank you so much again, sir, for passing through the studios of Zollywood Radio, where the magic happens, and of course, continue on your musical path because, of course, I will tell you this straight up. Um, the world is listening, and I'll say it that even after 5 years 5 years down the road, I can look back on this specific clip and say to myself, I told you this and it happened. You will reach your goals. I guarantee that to you. So keep up the good work, sir. And of course, we will speak some other time.
Yeah, thanks very much as well. You too, sir. And keep on doing what you do. It was a pleasure for having me again. You know, the time I took, it was never wasted. It was never, you know, something that I won't do again. So, like I said, appreciate it. And you also have a good evening. And all the listeners, big up you for taking the time.
Thank you.
J-Star. Big up.
J-Star, J-Star. Of course, we close this segment of course, we close the interview out with a track called Merry Christmas, courtesy
That
of
is it.
J-Star or J-Star indeed.
Famous Productions.
Yo, famous Christmas, you see this Christmas. How long we are discuss? Now the time I reach us. People for Jesus. Hey, hey. Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas. Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas. Hey, hey. Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas. Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas. Oh yeah, me liquor them piling. If you think I joke, no smiling. How long me waiting for Christmas morning? Mr. Famous send me calling, so he send the rhythm for me. Tell me make sure not to make it boring. Boy, Christmas how we get. Jeunesse bon moun ta célébrer. Combien pour aller goziller? Aïe pas changer, ça c'est je me refais Jésus. Il sait il voyait, ça pas chou pour nous faire mauvais, ça c'est chou pour ouais et puis fin manger. You don't have to have no money when it's Christmas time. Forget about the pain and worry when it's Christmas time. Link up with friends and family.